Grove Village is home to the largest industrial park in the United States. It's a community of makers, companies that invent, design, manufacture. When your neighbors are makers, the supply chain gets shorter and profits grow. It's why businesses thrive here.
Good evening. Welcome to Elk Grove, Illinois, where we are live for some Grenadier men's volleyball here this evening. The Grens are hosting the Mustangs of Rolling Meadows High School. I'm Chris Randall, joined by Bob Vissoet. Bob, what do you want to see from Elk Grove here tonight to break their 4-game losing streak against the conference opponent, Rolling Meadows?
Boy, talk about tossing me a softball. I want to see Alex Ortloff get about a zillion kills, and then every other kill he doesn't get, Jason Lewis to get the other half of the kills. I want him to set middle, more middle, and then when the middle's not available, find a way to set Jason Lewis. Let those two cut through Rolling Meadows like death by 1,000, knife wounds, right? So to me, it's Elk Grove is the favorite, which is kind of nice to be here when Elk Grove is the favorite. We like to see Elk Grove win. But that Rudra Patel, the setter, that's the two players he needs to set. Now on the other side, Rolling Meadows, if they're going to spoil it, they have a fantastic hitter on the outside, Jackson Gallagher, number 3. When he jumps, you can just watch him in warm-ups. He hits his head on the ceiling and puts a crater on the ground. So if you set him enough, maybe he could be a spoiler. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of right side blocking Elk Grove has. One of those right side blockers being Jason Lewis.
Yep, it was great there. So sit back, enjoy it. We have two schools both looking to break their losing skids here this evening, with Elk Grove on a 4-game losing streak, Rolling Meadows on a 7-game losing streak. And I will let Bob here say the starters for both of these squads.
Well, we don't know who they are yet. Let's see, we've got 1, 12, 11 across the front. Who's front left there? I can't even see.
6, 12, 11 on the front, 3, 9, 1 for Elk Grove. So Padua, Maxwell, Patel, Lewis, and Ortloff. It's for Rolling Meadows, which Padua is back to serve for the Grenadiers. And we are about ready to go here. As Padua sends it over the net and is handled by Jensen. And they're going to get the first attacking opportunity with George. It was dug up and sent back over. First time here for Gallagher, it goes out, as we saw it there. He could jump high, but that one was a little bit out of the reach and out of play. So point for the Grenadiers, and Padua goes back to serve.
Yeah, that was not Jensen. I think he hit it out. But Jensen's got 226 kills and 123 errors. Only hitting there's a tip. The only hitting percentage is 153, right? Not real high. Gallagher, who you brought up, number 3, 136 kills, 91 errors, just a .105 clip, 10%, and again, not real high. So if there's anything that's wrong, if you will, with Rolling Meadows, it's that they hit the ball out a lot. But this one, got the block, got the ball past the block, in between the block and the net for a point.
And that's Gavin Jensen getting the Mustangs onto the board. So that brings in Philip Raska to serve for the Mustangs. Tied up here at 1 in the first set. Raska over the net, and that over on the other side is Cameron Corey falling down to the ground, trying to retreat to that serve. See if Raska goes right back to McCory on that side.
Well, he should, and the signals are same from the coach. The coach is calling the signals. He put 1 through 5 fingers over on the clipboard, and only the server can see it.
And a kill there by Jason Lewis. He just wanted to throw that one over, and resulted in a kill.
It's a kill in the scorebook, but that's just simply bad defense of Rolling Meadows. Yeah. It's too easy to get there, and that's why Rolling Meadows has as many losses as they have.
Maxwell to serve, handled there by Jensen, and for the first time we have a block. We're going to continue it as Ortloff can block that one up. Ortloff with a big-time kill there right after the block. He just stands over all of these players, Alex Ortloff.
Yeah, he's 6'7". His sister went to Harper College. I wanted his sister to play for Harper College volleyball team, but I think she had foot injuries or knee injuries or something like that and really couldn't play in college. But boy, I'd love to have had her on the Harper team.
Maxwell serves it, handled by Gallagher, and they're going to give it an attack there by Jensen, dug up by Padua. Ortloff had another attack opportunity, handled, and Jensen now with the kill to tie it up at 3. Here in set number 1, it's been a little bit of back and forth to start.
And that was a nice kill. That was between the blockers, Ortloff and Lewis. They need to close that block if they're going to stop him. He does hit it hard, and you want the deflections because then those are hard to dig.
Kakul for Rolling Meadows serves it, and over. Maxwell there with Patel, and it was attacked by McCory, dug up, and right back on the Elk Grove side. Maxwell attack there, and out of play right in our direction as Lewis's hit is out of bounds. Oh, they're going to say tip there.
Boy, I sure didn't see that.
No.
Well,
it is going to be Rolling Meadows.
Yeah,
so
referee's right.
Scoreboard at the top.
It was out after all.
So 4-3 in favor of Rolling Meadows. Maxwell handles the serve. Patel over to McCory. McCory floats it over, and a good little play there over Quentin Berge to get a 4-4 game.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of those tips. I think at higher levels you got to actually hit it, but that tip had eyes. But instead of going down and pancaking it, read it and move.
Lewis to serve. Goes over, and Berge now with the attack, and it is a kill for him. Quentin Berge, the senior for Rolling Meadows. He has the leading service aces for Rolling Meadows with 19 of them this year. So we'll see when he gets the serve, Quentin Berge.
We'll see what his serving style is, right?
Is Gavin Jensen now is serving for, and unable to get it over the net, so an unforced error by Rolling Meadows, and we kind of talked about it a little bit before while we were watching the teams warm up, but Rolling Meadows had a hard time getting the ball over the net.
Well, they're 8-21, and they look like they've got talent, just as much talent as anybody else. I mean, you watch Gallagher and Jensen when they're hitting the ball, they're hitting it hard, they're hitting it, giving a lot of pace, but you got to hit the ball in. Now that was a nice inside set, inside the block that Ortloff put up. But you got to keep hitting the ball in constantly, and that when you hit it out, that's what leads to that 8-21 record.
Sog to serve here for Rolling Meadows, 6'5". This one over.
Yeah,
McCory.
I don't think he's that tall.
Patel.
6'5". I'm just kidding you.
And out of play as Unger hit this one out for Elk Grove. Tied up at 6 as Song back to serve.
Now he's 6'6". 6'6".
The libero over. McCory, Patel. Right back to Unger, blocked at the net and out of play. Point Elk Grove.
And Michael Sohm is the big blocker for Rolling Meadows, and unfortunately got tooled on that play from his perspective. Obviously, Elk Grove, you're trying to tool the blockers just like that. There's a block in front of you. You're trying to hit the side of the block. You're not really trying to smash the ball down where there's no block in your way. You want the deflections.
Ortloff over the net. And they're going to have a chance with Gallagher. Blocked and a kill as Jackson Gallagher picks up his second kill of the evening there. We have quick substitutions on the Rolling Meadows side. It's going to bring out Logan Quadros to serve for the Mustangs. Tied up here at 7 in set number 1. And that is Maxwell to Patel. Unger blocked, kept up alive by Gallagher, but falls to the Elk Grove side. Patel tried to just flip it over, and he's going to earn himself a kill there. And now
that worked, but defensive teams make those plays. Libero playing back left, they should be able to see that and get to it. And at the end of the day, the higher level men's volleyball, you need to hit it for kills. You need to serve hard. You can't just tip it over and expect those to land for points. But here we are in a high school game, and it landed.
There now Rudra Patel to serve, right over to the Song, and attacked by Gallagher, dug up by Patel. He's going to have to send it over for a free ball. Sog. And attack on the right side with Jadrioff, and it goes out of play. 9-7 here in favor of Elk Grove after the mishit by Nikolai Georgiev. Patel towards Gallagher, fight for it, and it's going to go down as an ace, as no service back.
So Elk Grove with a 3-point lead, right? Hit it out of bounds, Rolling Meadows, and then Rolling Meadows got aced, and that's almost the difference in the game. You just got to keep that ball in.
Right back to Gord's Gallagher. Saw, kept it up in the air. Georgiev has to just send it. Patel over towards Lewis, and Lewis sends it into the ceiling off the ground. And a big momentum swing here as it's all on the Elk Grove sideline, 11-7.
What I especially liked is the form of McCory in the back row, number 6. It was a perfect pass, perfect form. You do not want to give away free balls. Oh, they win the point and then they miss the next serve.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you give away free balls at the higher levels of volleyball. It just comes down your throat, and Jason Lewis made him pay.
Back to serve here for Rolling Meadows. Down by 3 is Jackson Gallagher, the senior for them. Over the net it goes. McCory, Patel, over to Lewis, and in play. Cross court, finds the ground. 12-8
Yeah, the referee, the down judge, was calling the net on Rolling Meadows on that play, so it didn't matter if it was in or out. It looked to us like it was in, but
Yeah.
Rolling Meadows was in the net. So Jason Lewis up to 3 kills on my tally sheet.
Sends Padua to serve for the Grenadiers. Gallagher over towards Jensen, and it is a kill for Gavin Jensen.
So he jumps up, hits his head on the ceiling, and hits
Yeah.
it about as hard as any pitcher can throw it and gets a kill. And keep doing that. That's how you can stay in the game. They're only down 3.
Yeah.
Now, between Gallagher and Jensen, Rolling Meadows always has one of those two in the front and one of those two on the front left. So there's always a threat to get the point.
Served over McCory. Patel looking for Lewis. Dug up there by Raska. Continued here. Patel. Maxwell. Over towards McCory. Padua. McCory. And a double hit there from McCory. And a point earned for Rolling Meadows to get it to a 12-10 lead. Or
Right.
12-10 deficit.
So McCory got blocked. They covered it, but then ultimately resulted in a double hit. So that's where the block indirectly led to the point.
Raska. And this is going to be flipped over as Patel just very nifty with that. As like you said, it's very tough to do in general. And in the college level, that may not go as easy as he's making it look right now.
Yeah, a little bit of sleepy defense. The server had to serve the ball and then sprint to that spot to right about where the ball landed. And the setter saw he was a little bit late getting there and flick it in play and get the point.
Dug up there by Patel. McCory attacks. And there was Gallagher. Attacked here by George. Continued for Rolling Meadows. Quadros over towards Jensen. He tipped it up. Patel has to send it over on a diving effort. And now it's George with the attack. Down and unable to keep it up. 3 diving efforts by the Grenadiers squad. But it ultimately goes down for a Nevin George kill. 13-11.
I like left-handed right sides. That's what Nevin George brings. All of his hits were in play, and he had to hit it 3 times or whatever it took until he finally got the point.
Yeah. Serving now Oliver Kakul. Padua. Patel. And there is Ortloff checking right back into the ball game, making himself known. 14-11.
That was a nice 31. Some teams call it a gap hit, but right in between the blockers, the middle blocker, the right side blocker, nobody blocking them, and it was an easy kill.
Yeah.
You could do that all game long until somebody figures out, maybe we better block that one.
Lewis to serve. Lewis into the net.
Oh, that's a shame.
And gives the point right back towards the Mustangs. No one really pulling ahead quite yet. Biggest lead has been 4 for Elk Grove. And not at this point, Jensen to service for Rolling Meadows in a 2-point game. Lewis, Patel, and he flips it behind his head. That one was very nifty and gets it 15-12. He's got 3 kills.
Now that needs to be in the scouting report that the setter likes to dump like that, and then
Yeah.
Rolling Meadows should be able to get that with no drama. But the game is, 15-12, right? So when it was 10, remember it was 10-7. They had those 2 points in a row where they hit it out and then the ace. It's been 10-7, 14-11, 15-12. It's a 3-point lead the whole game. So sometimes a well-played game from both teams, and right now it is a well-played game for both teams. They're not hitting the ball out of bounds too much, right? And it's just going to stay on a 3-point lead all the way to the end. So I think Rolling Meadows is sensing, we can't seem to get the score closer. We got to do something different. Of course, we don't know what adjustment they're going to make. And I don't know what adjustments they can make necessarily because they're 2 outside hitters. Gallagher and Jensen are the go-to people. I might see a lot more, if I'm Rolling Meadows, I might like to see a lot more sets than Evan George. And only they know what Michael Sohn can do in practice, but he is a good blocker. So maybe a couple extra middle hits. But I don't know that I'd set too much middle against Alex Ortloff, 6'7" blocker.
Yeah.
So I'd try more outside and right side sets and see if we can't break them down more with the right side sets. I don't think Elk Grove has big blockers on that side. And Nevin George does seem to be a capable hitter.
Yeah, so timeout there called by Rolling Meadows as they're down 15-12. Yeah, as we said earlier, Rolling Meadows is on a 7-game losing streak, but in all 7 of those games, they have lost 2-1. It's not like they're getting blown out of the gym. They're in these matches, just got to get over the hump as we're back underway here, attacked by Brigi, and that one goes out of play, so 16-12. In favor of the Grenadiers.
Yeah, we're not tracking the hitting errors, but that's what's hurting Rolling Meadows. You got to hit it in. Yes, you need to be aggressive, but yes, you need to hit it in.
McCory service. Oh, tipped over the net in an ace.
That's their second ace.
Cameron McCory just rolled it over the tape, and it falls onto the Mustang side.
McCory's a good defensive outside. He plays good defense. Obviously, the serve just got another ace there.
Sog over towards Kakul, attacked by Gallagher, initially blocked by Ortloff, and it falls to the floor after the diving effort of Unger. 17-13 as Sog goes back to serve here for Rolling Meadows, as they need a little bit of a break, or a little bit of a run to get back into this one.
Yeah, just even if they get this point here, it's only going to pull it back to within that 3-point watermark, I guess you'd call it.
Sog, McCory, Patel, and attacked by Unger finds the floor, right back to a 5-point lead for the Grenadiers.
There's that gap in the block again. The middle block has to close that block no matter where Rolling Meadows chooses to set that right side block. Briggy, I think, is on the right side. The middle has to close that block. There can't be a gap.
Ben Unger with the kill on that one, and that's going to send Alex Ortloff to service for the Grenadiers. Up by 5 here, getting late in the first set. Ortloff has it over. Gallagher, Kakul, and then has to just be flipped over by Gallagher, and it's a point for the Grens as it never made it back over the net.
Yeah, that was unfortunately just a bad set. Didn't go where it wanted to go. It didn't have to call it lift or double hit or anything like that. It just doesn't go where it needed to go, and it cost them another point. These little things just add up.
Yeah, there's miscommunication as well as Gallagher. Kakul right towards Gallagher, and out of play over the back line. Point for the Grens, and it's a 7-point lead now.
I think Gallagher thinks that was in, but in or out, that's a highlight film hit. But at the same time, if it's out, that's a tough call, though. We're not sure it really was out. He made it look like as it was in, and it went so fast, the referee may not have seen it.
Ortloff over. This one to Jensen. Kakul. First time we're going to see the attack from Sowen, and he earns it and gets the kill. 20-14 here in favor of the Grens with 5 points left to go in this first set.
Well, that'll be one of the Rolling Meadows adjustments they need to make. Set him more in the middle, which holds the block Ortloff, right? And then they can go outside. A little bit faster sets to the outside because then the middle blocker won't get there.
And there is Berge getting a service ace on his first serve of the afternoon. So that puts him up at 20 service aces, and you can tell it's a little bit of a floater, but he's able to pick his spots.
It's those short serves. It fools teams for some reason. You're supposed to be watching the server's body language, and then you can get there before the ball gets there, and it's no drama.
This one is handled by McCory. Patel flips it over. That dug up by Song. Now Gallagher attacks, and off the fingertips there of Adrian Jorkazinski.
And that's the lower, faster, quicker set to the outside that I was talking about, where the ball doesn't bring rain. You get it out to the outside quicker, and then the middle can't get there. Then he was hitting against a single block, then that's right. And in this case, the setter being that single blocker.
As Berge unable to get this one over the net, gets it
serve
back to a 5-point lead, 21-16, and we're going to see Rudra Patel to serve for the Grens.
Yeah, Berge hit that one out on the right side, then missed the serve here. It's like we said, those little things add up, and it's a 5-point lead.
Patel dug up by Song. Quadros attacked by Gallagher off the chest of Patel. Maxwell there. Unger just has to throw it over. Free ball. Quadros across court towards Dredgev. And now it's going to be attacked by Lewis. Lewis finds the floor. 22-16. Grenadiers inching away here as they are 3 points away from a set 1 victory.
That Lewis is a handful.
Yeah.
And he's hitting from the right side, too. Not a lot of teams know how to play defense on right side hitters.
Patel sends it over the net and out of the back line, 22-17.
Yeah, they just don't see those right side hitters as much, so they don't practice against it as much. So when you get a good right side hitter for a team, oftentimes it's a kill because you just don't know how to play defense against it.
Gallagher to service. Maxwell there, Patel. Going to have Unger with the attack, dug up. Nobody there, though, after Gallagher got a hand on it to keep it up, 23-17.
You feel like he did his job. He got the ball up. Sure, it's a line drive toward the net, but where's the middle blocker? It seems like the middle blocker should have been able to make at least a play on it, a pass on it, something.
And that's going to bring us to the second timeout. This one, again, looks to be in the Rolling Meadows way.
Yeah, 23-17. I feel like if you're going to call timeout to adjust something in the game, you probably needed to call it a couple points ago.
Yeah.
23-17. I mean, especially in men's volleyball where there's lots of side outs, right? You don't easily score 6 points in a row.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting between game and one what Rolling Meadows is going to make for adjustments, though. That's kind of the key. On the Elk Grove side of things, don't adjust anything. I mean, Jason Lewis is on fire. Alex Ortloff has a few kills. McCory's playing good on defense. Their passing's been good. They're getting good setting. I mean, what more do you want? Elk Grove's playing very, very well.
Yeah, and even Rudra Patel getting in the mix with some kills, who leads the team with 345 assists. So, and that's before entering tonight. So,
yeah, you said he's taking a lot of pressure off his own hitters by getting 3 kills himself.
Yeah,
not what I would suggest to do for him, but nonetheless, it's been effective today.
Padua is about to send us back underway here late in set 1. Sog, Quadros over towards Jensen, and it's going to be played up here. Maxwell just has to send it right back over. Sog, Quadros, George. And we'll pick up the kill here right between the fingertips of Patel.
I for sure want to see more Nevin George in Rolling Meadows attack.
I completely agree. He's looked very well. Yeah. As well as Michael Sohn, he's only had one attack, but it went down as a kill. So see if they can take advantage when Ortloff is on the bench.
Well, and a highlight film kill.
Yeah. There's Reska. Send it over. Patel. Cross over to Lewis. Lewis had it blocked at the net. George attacks, tipped up, and it's going to go down. George, second straight kill.
Just like I said, more George.
Of the evening, 23-19.
Unfortunately, because of the errors, this got a little bit behind, got away from Rolling Meadows a little bit, but maybe for game 2, a little bit more George, and Gallagher and Jensen hit it in more often. Maybe other people don't hit it out. Could be an interesting game, too.
Raska handled, and now it's going to be sent to the ground by Jorkazinski. As it's now 24-19 here in set number 1. That is the freshman there, Adrian Jakorzinski, as he's going to be behind the foots of Alex Ortloff for another year, as Ortloff's only a junior. But, man, these two guys are trees, 6'7", 6'4", for Elk Grove. Jensen with the attack, blocked at the net, kept up, though, by Sog, and Jensen's going to have another attacking opportunity. Patel now, Ortloff to the ground. 25-19. Thankful towards Alex Ortloff. Set number 1 victory for the Grenadiers.
Yeah, you said it earlier, Jack Krasinski. Is that how I pronounce it? Jack Krasinski, yeah. He's going to be a good one. Freshman, 6'4" already. Probably going to grow up a couple more inches maybe. Look out. Yeah. And
I think 6'4" is a little conservative. I feel like he's taller than what is being shown to us.
Well, that's possible. I mean, maybe when this roster was written, it is possible.
At the start of the year, maybe he was 6'4", and he's grown a couple inches since then. As we're in between here sets, Elk Grove won the first set, and now we will take it for a couple-minute break here. Talking about chalk it up to character. Grab your sidewalk chalk and join the fun in drawing positive pictures and messages during the Community Character Coalition, and it's called Chalk It Up to Character Week. This is a new event, runs from May 12th through May 18th, so next week. Schools, businesses, governmental organizations, churches, scouts, and residents are all invited to participate in this event. Make sure to take a picture of your artwork and send it to treasure@cceg.org. And if you're looking for some more information, CCC website and the social media pages, as well as any questions, contact Tammy Miller at millertammy660@gmail.com. Next week, chalk it up to character. So, we got about a minute left here. Kind of said at Elk Grove, you really don't want to see too many changes. Feed Ortloff, feed Lewis, get George Kaczynski in there as well. For the Rolling Meadows sideline, you want to see George. What else?
Well, definitely more George, right? And then Jackson Gallagher, keep hitting it in. Gavin Jensen, keep hitting it in. I'd like to see another swing or two for Michael Sohn, but really I think it's more on the Rolling Meadows side. It's not their hitting, not necessarily even their setting, even though that one set was errant. Their defense and passing. They've got to bring up those dings and tips that happen. There was that other tip that went into the corner over there. So that's 4 defensive gaps that Rolling Meadows made. So in a 25-19 game, take those 4 digs and make them into some kind of play, and now you're losing 25-20 23 maybe perhaps. So
Yeah.
you don't have to fix a lot. You do have to look at the defense. I know there were a couple of one-handed digs from Rolling Meadows, try to get both arms on it. I think that'll also help. Maybe a little bit more solid block up at the net. So they don't have to fix a lot. It's just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But the gaps in the block doesn't help. The defense isn't good. You've hit a few too many out of bounds. I don't remember too many serves that they missed, frankly. So it's just little things, and the score 25-19 is kind of close. So we could see a reversal. I think Elk Grove would be kind of silly to change much. Like you said, feed Ortloff and Lewis as much as you can. McCrory is good defensive outside, and Unger's gotten a few kills, done a good job. A few more sets to Jack Krasinski, and look out, Elk Grove could have a real good team.
Yeah. So Elk Grove here, one set away from getting back towards 500. They're 14-15 at the moment on a 4-game losing skid, as they are one set away from winning it and getting back to 15-15. As for the Mustang side, they are 8-21, 7-game losing skid, and 0-9 in conference.
It always felt like when you are within 1 point, whatever the score is, 14-15 or 17-18 or something, that's when you miss a serve or hit one out. So I'm thinking of Rolling Meadows, they're 1 game away from being 500, right? Mm-hmm. Don't let it slip. It's a big game to tie up your record.
Yeah, especially after a losing skid where you were at 1 point 14-11. Season looked very well. 3-2 in conference. Now you're 3-6. Just gets a little bit underneath you. As we had a quick PA announcement there, and we're about underway here. Set number 2. Gallagher gets us going. Maxwell, Patel, and it's going to be a free ball there. Lewis just had to send it over. Quadros over to Sowen, and it's going to go down as the first point of set number 2, Michael Sowen.
I like that set. It was too tight of a pass. Again, on a free ball, you ought to be able to handle a free ball a little bit better with that, make it more of a perfect pass. But that was too tight to the net. Setter handled it well with one hand, and then, like we said, we'd like to see more of Sowen in the middle. Yep. First play, first kill for him.
Gallagher, McCrory, got that one. Patel right back to McCrory, right to our direction. I think that one would have went out of play, but Sog touched it on a reaction, and it is tied up at 1 now.
Yeah, I think you hit that right on the head. It was heading out, right? But it got touched on the way out. And again, that's a defensive, mistake. It's costing you a point. Now, instead of you in your first lineup with a 2-0 lead, it's tied at 1-1. And next time you get the ball, you got to rotate.
As Maxwell gets an ace, as this time Jensen thought it was going out and pulled away, and that was about 3 feet in play still. I don't know what went through his head, and maybe someone said it's out on his team.
Well, it just goes back to defense. The defense needs to improve on the Rolling Meadows side.
Maxwell, Jensen, got that one. Quadros right back to Jensen. Attack out of play. 3-1 in favor of the Grenadiers. As two just costly mistakes for Rolling Meadows, and now they find themselves down 3-1. See how they respond, as well as Maxwell just continuing to serve here, the junior. That one out of play. 3-2.
So really, Rolling Meadows is kind of beating themselves. They had that one that got hit out. They had the ace that landed, right? And then there was a play that was flying out of bounds that they decided to jump up and touch. So Rolling Meadows is controlling their own destiny, which as a coach you do want.
Yeah. Raska back to serve. The senior sends it out. Maxwell, Patel, McCrory attacks, and right through the fingertips of Raska. 4-2. In favor of the Grens after the McCrory kill.
McCrory getting the job done. Back row, front row, hit it through a defender. That's hard to do. Hit it through a defender.
And that's going to send Jason Lewis, the senior, to service for the Grenadiers.
And this is when Rolling Meadows has to score points, when he's in the back row. Now he just missed his serve, right? So you got 3 rotations of Lewis in the back row. Got to make some hay here.
And that also does bring Ortloff back into the game. So we'll see if where Rolling Meadows attacks with Ortloff in the game.
Yeah, right. Keep it out of the middle. Well, Soam's not in the middle anyway, so go outside.
Kakul to serve. He returns the favor and says, I'll serve you up into the net as well. And now it's going to be McCrory to serve for the Grens.
Yeah, you just can't make that mistake. Lewis is in the back row. That's one of the 3 rotations it takes for him to go across the back, and you just gave up a point. So it's not just the point you gave up, but now you can't be in that rotation until 6 more times later.
Sog, Kakul, and the service ace there for McCrory.
Some more defensive laps by Rolling Meadows, just hitting it off the court on that ace. But again, McCrory is a good server.
Yeah, he's done well here this evening, serving it up.
He's a good player. Good defensive outside hitter. Keeps the ball in play. Plays good defense.
Sog, Kakul, attack there right at the net by Tim Clark. And it's going to...
It was rejected by Ortloff.
Yeah. Couldn't tell from where we were at if that one fell straight down or if it went back over there. So Ortloff with the block gets it to 7-3. And it's McCory to serve once again for the Grens. Hit off the tape. Kakul diving effort. It is sent back over by Berge. And then Ortloff makes him pay for it. 8-3.
You see, that's again defense on Rolling Meadows. The first ball was over, and they hit it with one arm. It kind of went crooked. Then the next player, just kind of hits it with one arm and randomly comes across the net. When the third player hits it with one arm, and then it goes down their throat. Next play.
Sog, Kakul, going to try and attack with Jensen. Jensen finds the floor, trying to stop the momentum. Gavin Jensen. 8-4 our score here in the second set. Gavin Jensen sends it over. Patel. Maxwell just has to shoot it over. Jensen dug it up. Kakul across court to Gallagher. Gallagher offhanded. And it is a point for Rolling Meadows.
Yeah, left-handed kill for Gallagher. I'm a little surprised he didn't, in the air. He has half an hour while he's in the air off the ground, right?
Yes, he
Twist
does.
the shoulders and smash it down the line with the right hand.
It wasn't a bad pass either there by Kakul.
No, it's a good set, right.
Jensen, McCory got that one up. Patel, cross over to Unger. Unger blocked at the net, hit off the pole, and there you go. The bottom ref finally called it, and it is a point for the Grenadiers.
Unger seems to be unstoppable. Every time they set him, he gets a kill.
Ortloff to service here. 9-5 in favor of the Grens.
So now you got Ortloff in the back row. Again, you got to make your hay now.
Jensen got that one. Gallagher with the attack in off the fingertips of Patel. Gallagher with a big-time kill, 9-6.
So Lewis is off the court. Alex is off the court. Alex Ortloff is off the court. So this is the time. So Rolling Meadows, don't make your mistakes here. Get your points. You're only down 3. You have a good front row hitter. You have a good front row blocker.
Sog into the net.
That's what you cannot have. The stars were aligned. They were going to score a bunch of points in that rotation. That's a shame.
And now that puts Patel to service. Lewis back onto the court. Jor Kaczynski back onto the court as Patel sends it over. Sog. Kakul going to set Gallagher. Gallagher off the chest of Maxwell. Kept up. Unger now attacks and finds the floor. Great dig there by Jacob Maxwell, and he really earned that point for the Grenadiers.
Well, that's the play you put on the highlight film for several people, and Unger as well at the end of that point. First off, it's a fantastic dig off of Gallagher's fantastic hit, right? And then he turned it into an Unger smash, and that's how men's volleyball is supposed to be played.
Patel right towards Gallagher. Kakul is going to set up Gallagher. This one is going to be a point for the Grens. Gallagher thought he got some fingertips there. Top referee said no, and it's now a double lead here, 12-6 in favor of the Grens.
Yeah, we'll stay out of the controversy and not make a decision on whether we thought there was a touch or not, but the referee, like you said no. Another missed serve.
Yeah, you could say that one is their ball do not lie, and Patel hit into the net because of that.
Right.
Berge to service, Meadows.
And
he returns the favor once again as back-to-back for Rolling Meadows once they got to the service part.
It just feels like
net.
Yeah, it just feels like this is easy to fix for Rolling Meadows. They have good players. They have a lot of skill. They've got good hitting, right? The sets aren't bad, right? Just stop making fatal mistakes.
Yeah.
Stop shooting yourself in the foot.
Don't be the hero. Just get it over.
Yeah, well, it starts from there, and then you have some longer rallies, and then you play a little bit more defense. You get better at it as a result, and then you get better as a team pretty quick. There's some real talent here.
Yeah.
Similarly, there's a lot of talent on the Elk Grove side. I'm enamored by this Unger guy, and of course we know both Meadows, Ortloff, and Jazinski, and McCory's playing a great job on defense in the back row. Setting's good. I mean, I can see why they're 500. It's hard to be good in this conference. There's lots of good teams.
As we got a quick stoppage here. I think
scoreboard problem.
Yeah.
Nope. Of course.
Right when both teams go back to huddle, and we're going to be good to go here. Padua.
I think that's the rule. You have scorebook troubles until both teams huddle up.
Padua sends it over the net. Sog. Quadros. Going to get Gallagher an attack. Tipped up. Fought it for at the middle of the net. Maxwell, though, there to clean it up. Now Lewis attacks into the floor. Jason Lewis.
And you said it, he came in to clean it up. There's a lot of stuff going on at the top of the net, and you can't just like tip-tap it over, and you just got to have a little bit more authority on some of those hits. You cannot let the other team have a bump set and then a spike from Lewis.
Padua over. And it's going to be an attack here. First time seeing Dylan Moran here this evening. It was dug up. And now Lewis has to send it over for a free ball. Quadros going to give Moran another attacking opportunity over the back line. 15-7. Elk Grove looking to run away here in set number 2. It causes Rolling Meadows to call a quick timeout, down 15-7.
Yeah, putting Moran in, you want to see what he can do, and they're finding out what he can do is hit it out, and that's not going to help. 15-7. Here's your chance. You have a chance to crack the starting lineup, perhaps get a kill or 2 in a row. Although I don't know how you beat out Gallagher and Jensen in the first place, right? But Rolling Meadows is definitely struggling. 15-7, game 2. They've already lost the first game. It just doesn't look good. You wonder, okay, to win this game, how are you going to outscore them? 18-8?
Yeah,
it's going to be a tall order.
Yeah, as we kind of said it. Both teams on a losing skid. Last game for Elk Grove was a 2-0 loss on May 2nd at Prospect. The last time Elk Grove actually won a set was April 27th when they beat Larkin right here 2-0. So on the other hand, you had a team that's been getting 2-0, 2-0, 2-0'd on their losing skid, while Rolling Meadows has been in these games 2-1, 2-1, 2-1 every single loss. What is more defeating, all 2-0s or 2-1s in that sense?
Well, the 2-1s are very encouraging for Rolling Meadows because obviously they're playing better teams and they're still just barely losing. So I can see why they're just barely losing. It's going to be a double hit call probably.
Yep.
Yeah, not a fan, but nonetheless, double hit call and now Rolling Meadows ball. But there's a lot of talent here, so I can see why they're just losing 2-1. And if they just take care of the ball a little bit more and stop hitting them out, stop serving them out, you don't need more talent.
Yeah. Gallagher floats it over. Padua. Patel has to retreat back. Lewis able to get an attack there. Dug up, though. And now Jensen hits it
into the
onto
net.
The ground. They're going to say it's a point for Rolling Meadows. I thought initially, too, it went right into the bottom of the net.
I did, too. I didn't see the net call being made on somebody from Elk Grove either. I don't get that.
So, Gallagher, service. Patel for Joe Kaczynska. Never made it over the net. And now Rolling Meadows here using well of that timeout, rattling off 2 straight points. And it's only a 5-point ball game, which was a 9-point game. Maxwell, Patel, Lewis has to send it over. Sog, Quadros over to Jensen. 2-handed kill there. And there's 3 straight points for the Mustangs.
That looked more like a 2-handed dunk in basketball,
yes,
didn't it?
Yes, it did.
I think there's going to be a ref or two that's going to call that in the future. Can't just catch it and dunk it, but that's what he did.
As this time Patel tried to keep it into his own hands. Jensen with the attack, out of play. And that was a good little rally there for Rolling Meadows. Got some momentum back on their side. Let's see how the Elk Grove responds. Still with the 5-point lead.
It's been 4 or 5 points since 7-3, right? Nortloff just got back in the game.
Sog unable to handle the service there from Maxwell, and it's going to get right back to 6.
Another ace. Trying to handle the ball with their hands. The conventional wisdom from coaching staffs is you want to get back and use your platform. Some coaches really work on serve receiving with their hands, though, so it depends on the coaching style.
Yeah. Maxwell, service.
There's some more hands.
Gallagher towards Quadros. George with the kill as he's continuing to have himself a game.
That guy's a good player. They need more Nevin Georges. Does he have any brothers coming up?
The only brother I see on this team here is Michael Sowen and Ryan Sowen, junior freshman.
And his fate would have it, if he does have a brother, it's probably right-handed brother.
Raska
don't
out
miss
of
those
play.
serves.
Coaches are complaining about something here on the Rolling Meadows side, but referees say nope.
I think what they're complaining about is they need a wider line for that ball to hit.
And that's going to send Jason Lewis to service for the Grens, up by 18-12, as Rolling Meadows here needing to come back quick.
Oh, no, Lewis with another missed serve. I like the aggressiveness on it, but we've seen him miss a couple today.
Yeah.
A little higher toss, a little bit more on the height on the jump, and I think you got it.
Kakul to service. 18-13 here. Set number 2. Grenz won the first one. Looking to close it out. Kakul over the net. Maxwell. Patel. Ortloff kept up. It's going to go right back here for the Grenadiers side. Going to give it to Ortloff again. Blocked at the net once again. Lewis sends it over, hits the tape, and falls to the ground. He did not want to do that, but...
So Ortloff has 2 smashes, gets stopped, we'll say it that way, both times. And appropriately, the setter then goes to the right side. Jason Lewis, he down balls it over, hits the net, and trickles over for a point. What luck, right? But what I do like that Elk Grove's setting their best hitters to win the game.
Kakul right over towards Clark.
Good dig.
And dug up. Free ball, though. Sog. Kakul over to Jensen. Jensen attacks. McCory dug it up. Patel over to Unger. Unger blocked. And point Rolling Meadows. I agree with the Rolling Meadows coach on that one. Unger never made it over the net, and it was blocked by the tape.
Well, that's actually what the down judge signaled into the up judge, for 4 hits. I actually thought there was a touch on the block, but nonetheless, she signaled it in, and the Rolling Meadows coach, of course, tried to help with that call. And then Rolling Meadows promptly misses another serve.
Yep. That one was Jensen.
Now, they've missed 2 in a row right here in the crucial time in the game when they're trying to catch up. They're almost there, but now they're down 6.
Yeah. It's going to be Ortloff to serve. Over the net it goes. Jensen. Kakul. Gallagher attacks. Lewis. Patel hustles after it. Unger just has to send it over.
Here's another free ball attempt. Do something with it.
Gallagher tried. And it's going to be into the back corner for a point. 20-15 here, our score.
That's basically an unstoppable hit. The set's over the block, right? And he hits it deep into that corner where nobody ever plays, right? That's just a great play. That's what you need to do when you get that free ball. So you're down 5. You got to outscore them, 10-3 now to win this game.
Sog serving for the Mustangs. Trying to get a comeback here. Over the net it goes. McCory floated over by Patel.
Use both hands.
And then Albergi attacks. Dug up by Lewis. Patel over towards Unger. Floats it up. And then Ortloff. Oh, that's Jor Kaczynski there. Sending it into the ground after the miss hit by Sog. So, 21-15. Patel to serve.
Yeah, we like middle attack there from Elk Grove.
Gallagher. Sog. Gallagher attacks. Maxwell there to dig it up. Patel right to Lewis. Lewis attacks. And a good block there, both by Sowen and Gallagher. 21-16. Set number 2 as we enter the late stages of set number 2.
I like the back set, though, from Patel to the right side. It wasn't a play you could go middle, so go to the right side to your best hitter. It just maybe the set could have been further out.
Lewis attacks down right, give it right back into their favor. 22-16 on the kill from Lewis.
Again, a great choice by Patel on that outside set to Lewis. Lewis, even though he's a right side hitter, is probably stronger on the left side, but he's a good blocker on the right. Might be why they put him over on the right. But just a perfect time to set him on the outside there, and he just toasted the block. The block was not solid. It wasn't at the net penetrating with no gap in between. In this case, it was off the net, and there was a huge gap, and that's where Lewis hit it into.
And Michael Sowen there was a little late from the rotation as it did hit off his arm and straight to the floor. Rolling Meadows has a rotation issue. Trying to figure that out as we wait here. 22-16. Elk Grove 3 points away from a 2-0 victory.
And I like what they've done. They got the lead early, 7-3, and they just essentially, I don't want to say the word coasted, but, they always had a 4 or 5 or 6 point lead the whole entire game.
Never really got threatened.
Right.
Padua sends us back. Quadros over towards Moran. Moran hits it out of play.
There's another out of bounds hit for Moran, but I'm not certain there wasn't a touch, but nonetheless, you got to hit it more on the court than that.
23-16 here. Grenadiers 2 points away from a pretty easy victory, I would say. This one, Padua into the net, though, as there's a good broadcaster's jinx, as always.
They're trying to make it a harder game. They thought, nope, too easy, too quick. We want to stay here longer.
Gallagher to serve. He's had a pretty good game himself for Rolling Meadows.
Well, I think just about anybody would like to have him on their team.
Yeah, absolutely. As Lewis sends it out of bounds. Good draw played by Elk Grove. Just Lewis got on top of it a little bit.
Well, Lewis is feeling it. He knows that they've got this game in the bag, right? So he tried to hit the ball extra special hard to get into the highlight film thing, but just a little bit behind him on the set, and he hit it long.
Maxwell. Lewis continued here. Once again continued as Lewis is going to find the floor on this one. Bad set by Patel, and then there was a fight for the ball at the net.
And Lewis won.
Yeah. And that gets Elk Grove to match point here. Maxwell to serve, the junior libero.
So I think Elk Grove's going to feed it to Ortloff to win the game on a smash from the middle.
As George gets the attack here, and instead it goes over the back line. And the Grenadiers win it 25-18 in set number 2, wins 2 sets to none.
So finally George hit one out at the end of the game. He had a fantastic game.
Yeah.
But again, Rolling Meadows just continued to hit the ball out of bounds too often.
So 25-18 here in set number 2. Has any final thoughts here? It seemed like it was a pretty quick one. Really nothing crazy happened. It was just very well of Elk Grove had it in favor. Kind
of what we expected. A lot of offense from Ortloff and Lewis, a little bit from Jezerzinski. He did a great job. McCory was really strong on defense. He got the good setting from Patel, and they passed well. And Elk Grove played really well. They earned this game.
Yeah.
So it got them to 500 on this season. Now they got to play some different teams and finish the season out.
Yeah. Elk Grove back to 15-15, ends their 4-game losing streak, gets Rolling Meadows to an 8-game losing streak. And that will do it. 2-0 victory for the Grenadiers. I will see you tomorrow for some softball as the Grenadiers will take on Rolling Meadows once again on the softball field. So he is Bob Vissoid. I'm Chris Randall. We will see you tomorrow for our next EGTV broadcast for some softball.